Since 1970, the Reading Civic Auditorium has served as a primary gathering space for the North State. Now, after 14 years under its current operator, the venue is facing an uncertain future. This deep dive is brought to you by Shasta Unfiltered, an independent outlet dedicated to providing honest news, analysis, and accountability for the North State. To understand what is happening at the auditorium, we have to look at the city's broader financial reality. Currently, the city of Reading is grappling with a severe structural budget deficit of up to $8 million. Despite this massive shortfall, the City Council recently approved a $675,000 emergency grant to prevent the auditorium from closing, a decision that immediately drew the scrutiny of the Shasta County Grand Jury. When a municipality is bleeding millions of dollars annually, surviving the crisis requires strict accountability for every single dollar spent. That makes this auditorium bailout a vital case study in how Reading manages its money. The current arrangement started back in 2011. The city was losing money on the auditorium, and Bethel Church wanted to lease it for their ministry school. They created a nonprofit called Advance Reading to take over management. That arrangement worked until 2024, when Bethel officially departed. Overnight, Advance Reading lost up to $750,000 in annual sublease revenue, pushing the venue to the brink of immediate closure. This flowchart traces how the City Council responded in September 2025. They bypassed the general budget and tapped into a dedicated capital improvement fund, originally built from a 2014 hotel land sale, to issue Advance Reading a $675,000 emergency grant. The Shasta County Grand Jury investigated this transaction. They found that while the funding did prevent the doors from locking, the City Council approved the payout with a severe lack of underlying documentation. This diagram illustrates exactly what the Council reviewed before voting. They were given a single one-page document labeled as a quote for 4 categories of expenses. There were absolutely zero supporting receipts or invoices attached to verify the costs. The grand jury also noted a massive statistical anomaly. The total amount requested on that single-page quote matched the exact penny of the remaining balance in the city's dedicated capital fund. It is worth noting the grand jury did investigate a separate $49,500 political donation made by Advance Reading to support a local sales tax measure, and confirmed those funds were kept completely separate from the city grant. Advance Reading ultimately had the invoices to back up their costs, but the City Council didn't ask for them before voting. Willingness to approve a massive 6-figure payout with zero receipts on hand exposes a severe flaw in Reading's financial safeguards. If oversight is failing on one-time capital grants, we have to look at how the city manages its recurring everyday revenue, specifically the taxes collected every time someone books a hotel room. This chart breaks down Reading's 12% transient occupancy tax. 10% goes to the city's general fund for core services, but we are isolating the 2% self-assessment, legally earmarked specifically for tourism marketing. That tiny slice generates massive capital. It provides the Reading Tourism Marketing Group, or RTMG, with approximately $1.46 million every single year to run the city's official visitor bureaus. You would expect a $1 million annual budget to buy a flawless digital presence. Instead, the 2 official tourism websites, Visit Reading and Choose Reading, are actively mismanaging basic travel logistics. The primary site entirely fails to list the daily United Airlines nonstop flights to Denver, a major travel artery that launched in May 2025. Worse, the secondary site is currently advertising nonstop flights to Burbank, a route that was completely discontinued in August of 2024. Failing to update basic flight information actively suppresses hotel bookings. If travelers can't figure out how to get to Reading, the city cannot collect the daily room taxes it desperately needs to survive an $8 million deficit. The reality of municipal management is that aging public civic venues rarely break even. Ticket sales almost never cover maintenance, meaning public subsidies are an inherent part of keeping the lights on. With Advance Reading exiting in July 2026, the city is preparing a new request for proposal. This is a mandatory open bidding process to find a new operator, and it represents a massive opportunity to restructure. The new auditorium contract should abandon the unrealistic goal of generating city profit. Instead, Reading needs a professional operator who can aggressively minimize ongoing maintenance costs to protect the general fund. And the city must apply that same logic to its $1.46 million tourism marketing contract. Subjecting those funds to competitive bidding is the only way to ensure a baseline standard of digital performance. Strict oversight is the only way to protect community assets from financial mismanagement. To track how the City Council handles these contracts, like, share, and subscribe to this channel, and visit Shasta Unfiltered for the full report.